Hey guys, Desolator Magic back with another great video, and this time we're going to answer all of your life's questions and everything you ever wanted to know, or at least a whole bunch from the comment section in my AMSS video. So, celebrating 1,000 subscribers, somebody recommended that we do an Ask Me Something Specific, or at least that's what I turned it into, because AMAs are stupid. You guys don't care what I had for breakfast or what I'm wearing right now. You want to hear about Magic the Gathering. So let's lightning through these questions. Mohammed Momo wanted to know, has anyone ever told you that your voice sounds similar to Ross from Friends? Yes. Approximately 300 to 400 comments, believe it or not, have stated that. Now, I didn't watch the show, so I looked up a clip, and I totally don't hear any resemblance at all. I don't know. I tried to listen to it. I listened to like a couple, dialogues with them, and I don't hear it. I don't know. I don't know what you guys are talking about, but I guess a couple hundred people couldn't be wrong. This actually was supposed to be about selling cards, but I don't care. I just picked the craziest questions. He also wanted to know if it is possible to get cards straight from Wizards. It actually is not, under almost all circumstances. They have a complete crap distribution system where they basically give middlemen money to warehouse and ship it for them to ensure that they make less money and I make less money. Isn't that a great system? Another question was, how do you feel about the fact that you sell singles? Actually, two people wanted to know that. That's why I didn't attribute it to one particular person. It sucks because I never know what cards will go up and down, so I always know on certain ones I'm gonna retroactively lose money, I guess you would say. And that's all due to net deckers, following pros like dumb sheep and just driving up the price all of a sudden. This time it worked because I did not sell Eldrazi Mimic ahead of time because it was like $1, so I was just like, screw that. So I'm sitting on like 60 of them, which worked out for me. I get stuck with a ton of them too. So I get stuck with tons and tons and piles of rares that are like $1 to 50 cents, and it's kind of hard to get rid of them. Usually I put them in a giant auction lot or something, or whatever I can do. But it's a lot of holding stuff until it might become, popular later when like Shadows comes out. And really, in general, it's really hard to sell singles because if you sell sealed product, okay, great, you sell sealed product, easy. You don't have to open it, sort it, deal with all the wrappers and the cardboard, and then, keep them in sorting trays or whatever you do, and then, store them and get them all by color, and then, package them up, and then make sure you get the right order and the right amount to the right people. It's a lot easier to sell sealed product, but I'm actually not allowed to do that. Rothar wants to know, is it expensive to start a singles distribution service, and is it worth it? And what do you need to get started? It's kind of a long story. I can make a video about just this, but basically there's no minimum order with the distributor that I use. If you want to get like free shipping, you got to spend like $4.50. So you can pick up just one case for like $5 and change. And then, sell that or split it up or whatever you want to do. You do have to prove, you have to have an LLC. I don't think they'd even like just a DBA. So you have to have formed an LLC, actually be a business, and a moderate portion of your business has to do with Magic the Gathering, basically, or at least like hobby stuff. Or, they want you to actually work in the industry, which is a problem with my application. But we do hold tournaments, we sponsor them, we do offsite stuff, we do giveaways. We don't do Friday Night Magic, and we don't just solely sell, Wizards products in our store. It's not even remotely close to what we do. So they had a little bit of a problem, especially the name of my business they had a problem with because it had nothing to do with MTG, but eventually they did approve it. And then the only other thing is you need a buttload of credit. Like, I have a ridiculously high credit score, and it was still hard to get, like, a $20,000 limit credit card. They didn't like how much I make a year. Haha, neither do I. So it was a little bit hard to do that, but I moved some stuff around and, pulled some strings and ended up doing it. They will never in a billion years, no matter how long your company's been around or what your reputation is, give you like net 30 ever. They did technically approve me for a $2,000 credit line with them, but I ordered way more than that. So I don't know. Maybe they looked up my personal credit score because I'm the owner. But either way, you're gonna need just a really, really, really high limit credit card to make that order. At least that's how it goes with my distributor. I would think it's pretty much true with any of them because if you disappeared off the face of the planet with like a $10,000 order and they just gave you 30 days to pay with a check or cash or whatever, yeah, you got a problem there. Rothar also wanted to know, do I have another job? Yes. Of course, I'm not going to tell you what it is. I will tell you that, oh no, I can't tell you that either, really, for privacy reasons. I'm going to tell you absolutely nothing. So, what a great Q&A video. Yosef wants to know how the Nissa from the Planeswalker from OGW is doing. She really cannot sell. That is the one price that I was pretty much wrong about in my video. The rest I was spot on with, so that's amazing. But yeah, I had to lower the price so many times, and I still have 4 play sets in stock. I mean, it doesn't make sense. I suspect that it's just another case of a super powered card that's amazing that no pros happen to be playing with, so nobody touches it. Like Phalanx Leader, Fabled Hero, Wall of Essence. I mean, these cards were legendary in power. They were just unreal, and it just didn't make it into a net deck, so the price never went up. I mean, simple as that. You know, I don't complain. It went in my deck, and I paid like 50 cents a piece. And finally, Trevor wants me to answer all of the questions stated in the video. So here we go. I'm not even going to state the questions. I'm just going to state the answers. It'll make sense. Believe it or not, boxes cost me about $86 a piece. Yeah, so the discount that I get is based on the MSRP, and I was thinking, well, what is the MSRP on a box? Well, it doesn't have one. So what they do is they take $3.99, the cost of a booster pack, and multiply it by 36 to get, I mean, what is that, $144 or whatever it is, 141, something like that. So then I get a 41% discount, or 40 actually, 41 is next quarter. So I paid about $86 and change for every box. So people are saying, oh, can I get a box for like $85, $90? No, you can't. I mean, then I got to charge sales tax. So the largest of the large vendors, as far as I know, and I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure about this, from what I heard, they only get them for about 80 a box. I mean, maybe in the high 70s, but it's not like they're getting 50 a box and just pocketing tons of profit. So don't beat up your local gaming store on prices. You know, if one's selling for 95 and one's selling for 100, it's all a crap profit margin anyway. Now, as far as distributors, there are 6, and that's it. As far as America goes, although that might honestly be international. I'm not 100% sure. I feel like it wouldn't be, but there are only 6 distributors in the entire US or North America or whatever. So the average profit from selling singles compared to the cost of one box, on average on day one of the release, after shipping, after fees, after like the cost of envelopes, I mean, I did this on a spreadsheet. It's like 9 pages long. It's around 30%, but then they don't all sell. You know, they don't all immediately sell and for that price. So, usually, I don't know, I end up with like 10-15% unless the set is like really super hot. Or if there's something weird in it like expeditions, you know, but even that I factored in actually to that particular calculation. So if I'd have sold every single card on day one, I would have made about 30%. So not the highest margin business to be in. And of course, that number varies really heavily from set to set based on demand, you know, because the cards are either going to go up or down pretty darn quick. Origins was a catastrophe because it just did nothing to compete with 3-color, absolutely nothing. So they just wanted it, you know, people wanted a couple cards out of it and that's it. It's not like the new one where people are building allies. Okay, now you need allies or you need Eldrazi. People didn't need a damn thing out of that set. So it was horrible. I actually lost money on it, unfortunately. Modern Masters was huge, obviously, because it's limited. I made a huge profit on that. And then normal sets like BFZ do pretty okay, although there's not that much normal about it. But it was, you know, it was powerful. It was doable. People said it was bad, but it was pretty good. I mean, people are still using cards from it. OGW is better. But the number one factor for profit margin, and this really shouldn't surprise anybody, is lands. If there are good lands like fetch lands, it's like an extra 20% profit margin, like not even messing around, because now there's cards that universally every single player wants. So that really only applies if they're rares or mythics, obviously. The dual colors in the current set, nobody wants them because they don't do anything. They're just dual colors, but then they're uncommon, so they're never going to go up. Never, never, never. I am so super mad that leak about Shadows, that one booster pack leak, did not have like some kind of land indicator in it, like a rare land or something. I know that's, you know, pretty long odds, honestly, but I want to know what the lands are, and my order is due into my distributor at the end of February. So feel free to leak some more cards. But not to me. I don't want that legal, you know, nonsense. But yeah, it's like thousands of dollars difference if there's good lands in the set. And that's almost like the only indicator I care about is lands, because it's guaranteed to sell out super quick, and that's just how it is. Okay, another question or answer. No, Nala, the epic shop dog, the golden retriever from our video, never did figure out how to sniff out expedition lands. I don't think golden retrievers really understand that concept. If somebody walks in with a bag with like the Burger King logo on it, yeah, she understands that concept. She's all about that. So she's smart, but she ain't that smart, I guess. Okay, so as far as what percentage were miscut, 50% of my uncommons were miscut. That's a couple thousand. So more than 50% of every single uncommon was cut severely to the left. Or to the right, I don't know, whatever. It depends how you look at it. So we only got about 25 like misprints, crimped, other defects, ink missing, just weird stuff like that. Out of about 50,000, 51,000 cards, whatever we opened. So that's not too bad. So the true defects, they're pretty rare. I mean, that's why I kind of collect them, because, they're cool and they're just stupidly rare. Unless you open as much as I do, then you get sick of it. We pulled a grand total of 22 expeditions, so that is right exactly around the amount that we were supposed to eventually. Kind of opened up the last couple cases we had because I couldn't find buyers, and it actually kind of evened out. We had 3 per case for the last 2 cases, so that was great. The rarity of expeditions is exactly what they said they were. That was actually somebody else's question, even though it was in the video. Oh, and over 100 cards were upside down in the pack, or like backwards, or have a half upside down pack, or just something weird like that. It was in the hundreds. It was probably actually about 100, give or take. We had one where all the foils were upside down in the whole box. That was kind of weird. And there was more foils than there should have been. So I don't know. Something's weird. I wish I knew how they package these, because then could probably find an exploitable pattern. But the U.S. Postal Service's rate increase lost me close to $1,000. So that's just freaking great. And they lose about 1 in 200 of my shipments. So that answers both of those questions. We do not actually employ Oompa Loompas, but we also don't shy away from child labor. So we compensate them in cinnamon rolls, though. Caffeine does help a whole bunch when sorting cards, but not opening them, because caffeine makes you really impatient and hate patterns, and just it's not good for mindless repetitive stuff. It's just not. And 50,000 cards weigh about 250 pounds, give or take, depends how they're packaged. It's in the original box's shipment, it's about 285 pounds. There were all kinds of noticeable patterns in card pulls, and a few were like obviously underprinted slightly. Like if you open 5 cases, we had like, I don't know, 10 of one uncommon and like 50 of all the rest or something. There was some that were just underprinted. So yes, they do make mistakes in printing. They do like lose sheets, or whole sheets are defective, and they just say screw it and keep printing them, keep patching them, I guess. But there were no patterns that we found that could be exploited on a small scale, though. So, or really even on a big scale, it's like once you start opening it, you're like, oh yeah, all the foils are upside down. Well, so what? What does that do for you? Or, oh, this card is short. Great. How's that going to make me money? I mean, real quick, sell the boxes. I mean, it's just an uncommon. So we didn't find any pattern in the rares or expeditions or mythics or any of that. And of course, the number one question: did I make or lose money so far on Oath of the Gatewatch? Well, as it sits, I lost double-digit percentages, but the grand total of, like, the total value of the cards that I have posted for sale right now would put me at just barely a 10% profit. So, hopefully every single card I own sells like overnight. That would be great, because I do not want to break even on this set, and that's actually what it looks like is going to happen. So a lot of work for nothing. So that's great. I love Oath. I love Wizards. Yay. Love being their vendor. Now keep in mind too that I'm selling full art land lots. I mean, I wanted to keep all of them, but I'm selling like 3,000 full art lands. I'm doing other sort heavy stuff like full sets, and stuff I don't normally do. But, you can't just say, oh, here's, 3,000 full art lands. I'm just going to leave, close to $1,000 on the table. No, I don't think so. Not when the set's selling like crap. That's why I'm glad Eldrazi Mimic and a couple other Eldrazi cards went up, because that's like, close to $1,000 in increased cards if I sell all those. So So overall, the set sucks. I hate it. I like playing with it. I think it's really powerful. I don't know why people aren't buying it. I really don't. I guess I could just keep blaming cons because 3-color is insane. But people are playing Eldrazi, at least in Modern. So I'm hoping once the first really big tournament with Standard constructed happens, people will finally buy the cards because, you know, they're a bunch of net decker copycats. So they can't think for themselves. They got to copy somebody else's deck, whatever. I mean, it is what it is. I sell to those people, so whatever. So hopefully we'll do another Q&A with a different topic in the future because this was really fun, and hopefully you guys found out all kinds of crazy stuff. Now, if you have residual questions about selling cards, feel free to put them in the comment section, and I'll probably see them and probably answer them. And I will see you guys next video.